Students, in this video today we are going to start the coordinate geometry part 2, and in part 2 it means we are going to study more about the what is mean by the coordinate and how to find out its coordinate. First we will recap what we have studied yesterday. We have studied that the first horizontal line is drawn in the coordinate Cartesian system, and that is called as x-axis. A perpendicular line or a vertical line is drawn, and that is called as y-axis. Where these two intersects is origin. On the right side of this origin on x is a positive, and this is denoted as x, while the negative direction is denoted by x dash. Similarly, the positive side or the positive ray is denoted by y, while the negative numbers occur on the y-axis. That ray is called as a y dash. Now, because of this, the page is divided in four. They are called as a quadrant. This is a first, second, third, and fourth. Now, already we have studied what is mean by the coordinate. Whenever it is a negative, indicates that it is on the left side. Now, we will try to find out the coordinate of the point. This point is already plotted. We required the coordinate of this point. That is a position of this point P. The position is measured from both the axes. That is, we have to measure from x-axis and from the y-axis. Now, it should be universally same. Everybody should write in the same pattern. And so, it is written in the order pair x, comma, y. Now, what is the mean by x? Is nothing but the x coordinate. And when we write x, comma, y, the y is the y coordinate. Now, first we will try to understand what is mean by x coordinate. X coordinate is a distance of this point P from its y-axis. It means this length Pn is a x coordinate. So the length of this Pn will becomes a x coordinate. Now one way we can measure this length with the scale, or if it is on the graph we can measure from the graph. But instead of that we will draw the another perpendicular also. Now what happened here? As I have drawn the perpendicular, PMON becomes a rectangle. Now as it is a rectangle, length of PN will be same as OM, and as OM here we are already written the number, so it becomes very easy to count on this rather than measuring the length. So this is actually the x coordinate, that is a PN, length of the PN is x coordinate, but rather than this, we try to write directly from here where this point M intersect. This point M, where this is intersecting, that point is becomes a x coordinate. For example, if it is drawn from here and it intersects at this point 3, then my x coordinate will be 3, because this distance is a 3, same as this distance, that is a Pn, and OM is the same. So it is an easy way to write this number directly as its x coordinate. Now for the y coordinate is the distance of a point from x axis. So PM is a y coordinate, but length of the PM will be same as the length of ON. And so this point where the axis on the n, the value of the point n is will be its y coordinate. So we can say that the value of m gives you the x coordinate, while the value of n will give you the y coordinate. We'll try to find coordinate of the points. How to find out the coordinate of the point? This point is given. We have to find out its coordinate. First thing, we will draw the perpendicular on the from A on x and y. Now, first I have drawn the perpendicular from A, where it intersects at 4. So my x coordinate will becomes a 4. Actually the x coordinate is this distance. So this distance will be same as this distance, and so I will get my x coordinate as 4. Now to get the y coordinate, I has to draw the perpendicular. This perpendicular where it intersects at 3, and so the coordinate of the A becomes 4 because this point intersect at 4, and on y axis where it intersect 3. So the coordinate of the point A becomes 4 comma 3. Now we will try to find out the coordinate of the B. So first draw the perpendicular on x where it intersects is minus 4. So my x coordinate becomes a minus 4, and my y coordinate will becomes a 1. So this is the first what we have got. Now in the first what we get, both were positive. B, we get one is a negative and another is a positive. So that indicates that the coordinates can be positive and negative. Now from C, to get the C, I will draw the perpendicular here where it intersects minus 3, and then another from C, another perpendicular where it intersect is again at minus 3. So the coordinate of the C is minus 3 comma minus 3. Both are negative. While in the D, to find out the coordinate of the D, first we'll draw the perpendicular on x. It intersects at 1, so my x coordinate becomes a 1 and the y coordinate will becomes a minus 1. So the coordinate of the D becomes 1 comma minus 1. Now here we have seen that the coordinate can be, both coordinate can be positive, both can be negative, one positive, one negative. So that is what we can say, that the coordinates of the point can be positive and the negative. Negative indicates that it is on the left side of the origin, and if y is negative, it is below the x axis. Now, according to that, variation of the sign of x and y, we have just seen in the points, that is a, b, c, d, all were having the coordinates 1 with positive, negative, and so this quadrant, without plotting the point, we can find out the point lies in which quadrant. For that, here what happened, x, all our x are positive, y also are positive. So if you get the coordinate as plus plus, we can say that the coordinate or the point lies in the first quadrant. If we get x is negative and y is positive, it indicates that the point lies in the second quadrant. If both are negative, it indicates that the point lies in the third quadrant. And if x is positive and y is negative, point lies in the fourth quadrant. So without plotting, after plotting, we can get in the first, that is a, b, c, d, we have plotted the point and we have seen that the points are in the different quadrants. But without plotting, on basis of this, we can identify the whether it is in which, or the point lies in which quadrant. This is a question asked for 1 mark. They may give the point and ask in which quadrant it lies. Naturally, don't have to plot the graph according to that. So for that, you should remember this. Both are positive first, x negative, y positive, or we can say minus plus second, both are negative third, x positive, y negative. It indicates that it is in the fourth quadrant. Now the next is point on the axis. Now here this point is not in any of the quadrant. This point P is on the axis because this, whenever we draw these lines are the axis. So what happened? The point P lies on the x axis. Now for that, to find out what is the coordinate of the P, from this point we will draw the perpendicular on x. Perpendicular will remain at the same point because point is itself on the x-axis. So perpendicular will be at the 4 only. If I'll draw the perpendicular from here on y-axis where it intersects 0. So my coordinate of the point P becomes 4 comma 0. We have taken the point Q here. Now what is a Q? First, to get x coordinate, draw the perpendicular here where it intersects 0. So my x coordinate becomes a 0. And what is the y coordinate? The perpendicular drawn from this on y. It is on the same point, so 1. So what I get? 0, comma 1. Third, R, that is at perpendicular drawn on the x will meet at -2 and y at 0. So its coordinates are -2, comma 0. And S, what we get? Perpendicular drawn on x will be at 0 and y at -3. So the coordinates are 0, comma -3. Now, so these points, if you observe, what we observed here, P and R are on the x-axis. P and R are on the x-axis. What the common point we get? Its y-coordinate was 0. So if point lies on the x-axis, its y-coordinate will be always 0. And what about the point Q and S? Point Q and S were on the y-axis. Now if you observe here, Q and S, what is a common point we get? Both of have x coordinate 0. So we can conclude that whenever the point is on the x-axis, its y-coordinate becomes a 0. And if point is on the y-axis, then its x-coordinate is 0. So hope you have understood this part. Now you can solve the exercise 3.2. 3.1, no need to solve, such questions is never asked. In 3.1, certain sums are given. Try this. If you will not get, we will discuss in the next video.